Hi everyone, welcome to day 26 of our Inktober 2024 Beginners Tangles Challenge. I'm Yehudit Steinberg and I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and in this video series we explore one beginner tangle a day for 31 days. Today, we'll be learning the tangle Shattuck. This is a beautiful woven looking design that's great for adding texture and pattern to your drawings. It can be varied in many ways, like changing the shape of the arcs or using shading techniques to create depth. Let's begin gathering our materials. So for today, I'm going to use a Micron 01, and this week I introduced the Micron 02, and I love the 02. I'm a little heavy-handed, so if you're a heavy-handed tangler and you're breaking your 01 tips, try the 02. It's a little bit sturdier, and it's a great size pen. And then I have the plastic nib, the PN for Micron, that I might use for some emphasis of line work. This is a 2B graphite. I use the Staedtler Mars Lumograph. I love that set of pencils. And my blending tool is called a tortillon, and I'm using a small. I use the doing this on a 2-inch bijou tile, and you can get these at zentangle.com. I've done the whole series in the Renaissance color this year, and one of the an alternative that I really like, that one of our lab members recommended, is using the Strathmore artist tiles. I use these tiles all the time. This is a 6x6. It's great paper. It's a Bristol vellum surface, so it has a little bit of texture, but not that much. And you can get quite a few of these off of a 6x6 sheet. And if you happen to have a corner cutter, you can make the rounded edges. So it's a great economical alternative. So at this point, what we do in our videos, I like to show you the step out so you can take a screenshot. And if you're keeping up with us, you can have a nice collection of tangles by the end of this 31 days. So take a screenshot of Shattuck, and let me see what else I have to say. So this tangle is made up of repeated arcs that resemble ribs and create a woven effect. It's a very versatile design and can be adapted in many ways. Here's the step out guide, and make sure you've got your screenshot. And we're now ready to begin drawing the Zentangle method. Let me just get this. So we start the Zentangle method with getting present and taking a couple of deep breaths. And to do that, the way I suggest is that we inhale through the nose, hold it for a few seconds, and then exhale through the mouth. I also suggest 5 to 10 deep breaths. Helps to really get you centered. So let's just take a moment and get centered with our breath. Inhale, hold it, and exhale. Again, inhale, hold it, and exhale. Now continue breathing, and while you do that, think of something you're grateful for today. Let that feeling ground you as we prepare to draw. Stretch your hands, get them moving, do a little finger yoga, warm them up, get some energy going, and we're now ready to begin. Let's see, where are we? So on this 2-inch bijou, I'm going to do 2 ribs. And our first step is we're going to make our string. So we grab our, I'm going to move this. So what I'm doing is a diagonal pattern. I will forego the dots in the corner on this one, but I will make 2. So I have 1, and then I'm going to make another. And I'm going to go for my, I'm actually going to start with my Micron 02 and ink these lines in. Now, notice that we are going to put an aura so that we have some white space here in between the ribs. These are these were fairly even, but I think I'll use this one. And then I can aura this one on the outside. I'm going to turn my tile and aura on this. So let me turn it back around to where, so that's where I am with it. This tangle is a little, it takes a little while to get used to. But with practice, you will get it. And it's really, it's a great little tangle. So I'm looking at where I want to start. And since I'm not quite sure, I'm going to use my graphite, and I don't see any problems with using a graphite. So give me a moment and let me just get centered here. Okay. That's where I'm going to put my first line. And what we'll be doing, and let me demonstrate first. Let me just demonstrate first. So I've got this line here. And what I do is I do aura, aura to this corner. And then do you see that I have a triangle here? In here. Now I want to go to this corner with aura. So I'm going to do the parallel lines into the corner. And I'm going to turn my tile and I want to create another triangle. And that triangle will go to this corner following this pattern. So do you see that all of these are going in this direction on the bottom? And then these are going, and let me do the next one. So they're all going in an angle, but sometimes I'm seeing where sometimes what you'll do is bring it this way, but we want an angle going into the corner.
Oh,
Do you see
yeah, I
that?
did mess up. Yep.
It took me some practice on that. I don't want to mess that guy up, but let me see if I can. I want to show you what you're doing versus what So I have a triangle. This is going to go in this direction. And I will aura. All right. Now, I think it helps when you turn your tile or paper, and now we have another triangle. But this, we want to move to here. So it's aura to that. I found too that although you can start here and move to here, I found I didn't mess up as much if I went from large to small. So now I'm going to put another triangle and I'm going to move it in the same direction as this, which is diagonal. What I see happening and I did the same thing, was instead of being diagonal, I was going, this is what you don't want to do. You see that? You see how this is going? So this is going upward and this is going downward. So this is, and then it would be here. And then for here, we don't want to go downward. We want to go upward. Do you see that this is going, all of the bottom ones are going in the same direction. You see that? And then
Oh, yeah.
these are going up.
Oh.
Instead of
Oh, the inner ones are going in different directions?
So
Or
I
not?
have one is going, oops, I'm off the camera. One is going in this direction to the point, and then I make a triangle here, and it's going up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I make a triangle, and this follows this line here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I turn it a little bit and make a triangle again. And this is going to follow this diagonally. Okay. Now, what I see, what I did, and what I see a lot of what um, other people doing. Okay, so this is the diagonal going into this corner, but then when you come up here, I see a lot of you not doing a diagonal to this point. I see you going straight across and coming down. Now that'll make a pattern, but that isn't necessarily what we're aiming for. We would rather it be and see this is going up here to this point. So it's going to that corner. And sometimes I like to, to be able, there's a point up there.
Well, plus when you mentioned going from the base to the corner, that helped me out a lot because that base is like your anchor. And I was trying when I first started doing it from the corners and it was goofing me up.
Me too. Yeah, and I have seen it demonstrated in videos from the corner up, and I was always getting it wrong. So hopefully I have them all right here. um, anyway, so there's a couple of ways. There's always more than one way to shade, but the way to shade this, um, so I'm gonna look at this particular group is on top of this one. So I'm going to go in here and just put a little fine line of graphite. And I'm going to turn and the same thing on this line. You can see it's a zigzag pattern too. And I have demonstrated it by putting the zigzag all the way across, but for some reason I didn't think it worked as well. But we'll try that next time and see if that is easier, because then you already have your zigzags there. But I just come in and give it a little bit underneath these patterns. The other thing that I like to do with Shattuck is to come up under this line on the inside and give it a little, this will round it, give it a little 3 dimensions. And then I turn my tile and here and here. I'm going to pick up my torchon and I'm going to hold this and spread it a little bit towards the middle. On both sides. And this is where I bring in my Tombow Mono Zero Eraser when I'm shading. I use the square, I get the rectangular one, not the circle one. And see here, I caught some shading in here. I want this to stay. Then and then a little bit along each of these lines that we made. I want to get right up against it. And that's Shattuck. And I'm going to initial my drawing. And I'm going to journal. This is day 26. The tangle is Shattuck. And it was deconstructed by Zentangle. I sign my name. And I date. This is Inktober. I am not a calligrapher, folks. So my printing is what it is. Okay. Turn it over. And this is the pattern Shattuck. And now the next step is to share it in the Facebook group. Before we wrap up, just a quick reminder, it's not too late to join our Sunday Mandala Challenge. You'll receive all the information, the guidebook, the recorded Sunday Zoom sessions, and support to create your unique mandala. The registration link is in the comments below or description if you're watching on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this time was relaxing and inspiring for you. I'll see you tomorrow for another mindful drawing session. Until then, remember, one stroke at a time. Bye for now.